to win the second round. Oliveira is so technical, man. He's so beautiful the way he moves. Sean O'Malley is special. He's special. He's special. I love watching that dude fight. Patty Pemberton. He's something about his haircut. I want to follow him.
Dude, I followed him.
Dustin's on top of the world right now. God damn, he's on fire, dude. He's on fire. He's got the big title shot coming up against Charles Oliveira.
Yeah.
That's a great fight. You could be a successful fighter and just work on takedown defense and punching, and you maybe get pretty far with that. But you won't get as far as a guy who learns jiu-jitsu and a guy who has amazing cardio. You need more weapons in your toolbox.
And a guy who failed, like we just saw.
Yes.
With Poirier. Isn't that cool?
It was very cool. But that was an unfortunate ending.
Oh, that stunk.
Because apparently that was an existing injury. He had that ankle scanned. He had probably kicked someone really hard in training and created a stress fracture. And John Wayne Parr and then Eric Nixick from Extreme Couture, who's one of the top coaches in Vegas, they both put videos up on their Instagram. And when John Wayne Parr noticed that his leg was starting to buckle in a weird way after he threw one leg kick, kicked him in the thigh, because he apparently had a cracked shin going in there. And it was of concern enough that they went to the doctor and got it scanned.
Yeah.
So when you see him throw a kick, there's one where he hits the elbow and then he goes back to sit down and his leg just gives out on him totally. That leg was already broken.
Yeah.
He's probably kicking him with a broken leg. That's what you have to realize. That's what kind of a savage Conor McGregor is. He was kicking him with a broken leg because he's a left-hander, right? So his left side is the power side. So his left kick's his big kick. And that was the kick that he was throwing, even though he had a broken shin. Pretty wild.
That fucking, I mean, it's insane. It's truly insane.
He's wild.
But that video we were watching of him driving around in a scooter, it's
respect.
Funny. He's so funny.
Nothing but respect for that guy. And people are like, I did not enjoy the way people who are not MMA experts were talking about the conclusion of that fight. And they were saying that Conor is old, Conor's done, he doesn't have the anger anymore or the drive to become a champion anymore. Horse shit. You people don't know anything about MMA. Let me tell you what happened. You got a guy who went out there, guns blazing, to give it his all with a pre-existing injury, and he got beat by a better man. He got beat by a guy who might have beat him anyway, but took him down, has a superior ground game. Dustin beat him up, and here's the thing that I was saying going into that fight. Historically, and this is never an indication of like what can happen in the future because people can improve, they can get better, but historically, Conor's really dangerous in the beginning of a fight. He's not as dangerous as the fight goes on. Dustin Poirier is dangerous for all 5 rounds, and that's a big factor. He relishes these combat, trench warfare type fights where like you're 5 rounds in with Dan Hooker, and he'll win it in the 5th round. Like that's who Dustin Poirier is. He's had these 5-round wars with like Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje. Like he's had savage fights and gone into the trenches. So he's like real confident he can get through those trenches and be victorious. So the problem with the fight is not just that Conor broke his leg. The problem was that Dustin dominated the first round. When Dustin dominates the first round, he's likely the favorite to win the second round. And then he's even more of a favorite to win the 3rd round. And this is just based on historical moments in fights, what Conor has done and what Dustin has done. Oliveira is so technical, man. He's so beautiful the way he moves, man. Everything he does is perfect. Like his jiu-jitsu's perfect, his striking's perfect. But
he's like a flamingo. He's like that violent flamingo.
Flamingo.
To me, in a way, when I see him, he's more of it has almost a ballet to it. And I don't mean that in like a negative term. That guy's a real tough and talented man.
I know what you're saying. It's just beautiful. Yeah, he's very technical. Everything he throws, it's like his punches, his kicks, even his submissions, it's all perfect technique.
Yeah.
He's one of the most interesting guys to watch for me because, he never is out of position. He never like winds up like wild and throws like big crazy shit. Everything is like straight down the pipe. Everything is perfect position. Like if you were going to study a striker or even a grappler, Oliveira is a great guy to study because he just does everything right.
I'm excited for Dustin, man. Being able to kind of get to know him over the years has been cool, and that's their way to express themselves kind of.
And make a living. I mean, that's how Dustin makes his money, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Imagine all the money to pay for food and your house all relies on you punching people in the face. Sean O'Malley is special. He's special. He's special. I love watching that dude fight. He is a uniquely confident, wild motherfucker who's super creative, and he's fucking, look, man, he's insanely good. He's still getting better too, man. That's the wild thing about that dude. He's getting to Thomas Almeida, that dude he just fucked up. You have to understand who Thomas Almeida is. Before Cody Garbrandt knocked out Thomas Almeida was one of the best like shots to be a world champion. Like you looked at him when he was coming up, when he was dominating people, when he'd get caught and hurt and still come back and knock guys out. He was a gladiator. Thomas Almeida was like, he was someone to watch. And then Cody Garbrandt put the fucking knuckles to him in an insane way with this sidestep footwork, beautiful boxing, hit him with a perfect placed right hand and knocked him out. Cody Garbrandt just fucked him up. It was wild to see because Garbrandt and Thomas Almeida at that time were both thought to be kind of on that same level, like guys who were rising to the title. And Thomas Almeida was fucking dangerous, man. For Cody to fuck him up that way was really super impressive. So when you see Sean O'Malley fight Thomas Almeida and just pitch a shutout, just a wild shutout, and the pace is insane, and KO him really kind of twice. I could have stopped him at one point in time, and the referee let him go on, and then he literally says to him, like, he puts his hands up, he goes, okay, and then he knocks him out when he's on the ground. It was wild shit. Yeah. Wild. Dude, Sean is insanely accurate. His timing is just spectacular.
Here's my question. So those guys that come in, and I mean this respectfully, balls ablazing, Sean O'Malley, Conor McGregor, these guys that just show up with so much confidence. How much success is walking in the ring with that much confidence, that much balls, that much like Nick Diaz on his back giving the birds?
Yeah, it certainly means something. Confidence means something. But you can have all the confidence in the world and you fight Anderson Silva in his prime and you're still fucked. It doesn't mean jack shit. The most important thing is skill. Like a lot of guys have confidence. Like all these guys having confidence is big. It's a big part of the equation.
But it's so much fun to watch them.
They have everything, right? Like O'Malley's got a weird personality that like is compelling. So does, you know, there's a lot of guys like that. They have personalities that want
Cowboy.
Yeah.
Is fucking compelling as a motherfucker.
Patty Pemberton. He's something about his haircut. I want to follow him.
Dude, I followed him. I followed him as another guy in open tabs. I didn't talk about because I was like, I don't know how these guys received that. But I just fucking watched every video about the guy.
Do you know fighters got upset by it? Like how popular he was getting? They were making all these memes where they were putting like his hair on a bunch of different fighters.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there was like a whole series of them that were going around. I don't know if fighters were doing it or if other people online were doing it, but it was really fun. When a guy has a spectacular UFC debut and knocks out a guy like Dan Hooker and then loses his shot at the interim belt, which was like a big opportunity.
So close to winning, too.
So close to winning the first round.
Oh,
almost had him.
Almost champion.
Almost had him. But then that just shows you how good Oliveira is.
Yeah.
Oliveira comes back and with a beautiful left hook.
Yeah,
My God.
did.
What a perfect punch. And there's a difference between someone who throws things short and technically, where everything's like hands up high, everything is perfectly placed. Chandler is, you know, a wild fucking bull of a man. And he just left himself a little open in that wild, reckless attack.
After giving up his neck.
Yep.
Remember? Oh, I can't believe he got out of that.
Crazy. Yeah. I think we're gonna see some wild shit. And I don't know what's gonna happen.